Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to CNA Weekend Recap. Justin, Josh, Ken coming to you, as always, from the Geek Cave. And, guys, what are we talking about tonight? I kind of should have asked that before we got started.
We're kind of playing this one off the cuff. It's been a while since all three of us came together.
It has
honestly.
been a while.
Yeah. God, I think it was the week before Pentagon since all three of us actually got together.
Yeah. If not a few weeks before. It's been a while, so if you've forgotten who we are, hello. I know we wanted to talk about Mandalorian. We were going to talk about the season finale of The Last of Us. Mm-hmm. I can tell everyone whether to believe the negative hype about Shazam 2 or not.
He's the only one of us that has seen it so far.
Yeah, so where y'all want to start?
I say we start with The Mandalorian. No, we always start with the big Disney shows, and we go from there.
I don't think anybody's going to be mad at that, Mandalorian. This was an interesting episode. They watched it before me, and that's what they told me. And I didn't know how to take that because they're normally very effusive after an episode. So when they were just like,
$5 word.
It was interesting. I didn't know what to think, and then I watched it. And it was interesting.
Yeah. We told you. Like, don't dismiss me again. We use words very specifically.
There's something wild about this, because I think we all agree the episode before was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if y'all saw, but all the pundits who like to score episodes scored that one very low.
Really?
4s, 5s, 6s. And then this week, IGN gave this episode a 9.
No, I think, and not to pull it away from you, Justin, Ken and I, like he said, we watched it first. And so, we saw the intro, and then it took a sudden turn that none of us were expecting. And, Ken, you watched it before me, and I was asking you about it, what your thoughts were about that with this kind of idea. So you want to chime in?
Well, I mean, do you want to hear theories about what's happening?
Yes,
what
please.
Set us up a little bit what we saw first.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got, I think what is clearly a kind of a cap on a Bo-Katan story, which I'm a big fan of. Love seeing her kind of get redeemed and maybe refining her religion, so to speak.
Yeah.
I hope so anyway. I'd like to see her become the leader she always wanted to be, but do it in their cult-like fashion.
She's got a little ace up her sleeve right now.
Yeah.
With what we saw at the end of the prior episode.
It's just, it's so, these episodes tie in so much together. And, this one, and I think, at the start, we see her kind of coming back, redeemed a little bit. Because at the end of the second episode, she seemed like a Mandalorian distraught.
Yeah.
The helmet on the throne, kicked back. She made a comment that all her people had gone mercenary or signed up with other groups. They were just gone. And she was alone in a castle on this planet that seemingly nothing else was there. And she was called back into action by Grogu, of all people, to save Din Djarin.
Right.
And she put her helmet on and she went and did it. And so, now we start this episode with them coming back, offering him a feast, seemingly, like you said, effusive about what is going on in Mandalore. And we watch things turn, and we watch her home destroyed. The place she had been staying kind of in solitary confinement a little bit, because she didn't have anything else.
And then...
Yes.
I thought we had switched over.
Meanwhile,
exactly.
What just happened?
It felt like we had gone from Mandalorian back to Andor.
Yeah.
Everything changed.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was still well written, I thought. It was still good. But what a drastic turn. I mean, just like a different show for 20 minutes.
No preparation for it.
No, none whatsoever. But it also... And if you watched previously on, and I always try and watch that because it gives you an idea of what
they showed Dr. Pershing.
Yes, Dr. Pershing from back in the day, and you saw him being rehabilitated by the New Republic.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very interesting, that they're on Coruscant, and they're attempting to rehabilitate these former empires.
Operation Paperclip, man.
Yeah, exactly. Damn, that is a good reference for it.
Yeah, I
Yes.
stole that from somewhere.
No, you didn't. If anybody doesn't know, Operation Paperclip was post World War II. Do they really?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't know? Okay.
People are stupid.
Post World War II, Operation Paperclip was when the American government recruited Nazi scientists to fill their roles and try and win in the Cold War against who were their former allies, Russia.
And both sides.
Yep. Von Braun, he was there.
Remember that town built by the Nazis.
Lots of their grandchildren still live there.
We're gonna get shot. But yes, that is a very good point. Is the New Republic is attempting to rehabilitate Imperial soldiers, and it's kind of ugly. You know, that's what I took away from it. Is they're not like embracing them; they're kind of brainwashing them a little bit. They put them through these classes to make them understand, and you see them on Coruscant with the rich and the powerful, and the rich and the powerful don't really care about who's in charge, the Empire, the New Republic, as long as they're happy and
fat and
proud.
happy.
Yeah. So it is a very different look at the New Republic, I thought.
It is, and it shows in one episode why they failed and why the First Order was able to rise up. You blink and you missed it, but Mon Mothma decided to retire the entire Rebel fleet.
Yeah.
Deciding that a non-emperor-like government did not need a galactic military. It makes total sense why the First Order was able to rise up. They had no defenses.
Mm-hmm. I mean, half this episode was them breaking down the old Star Destroyers. Like, why would you not keep them active? You know.
Well, I've seen online some theories are that this is tying into the cloning of Emperor Palpatine and Snoke, and this is all going to there, which is Snoke. Snoke was such a dead end in those movies. It was just like he's a clone of this guy, and then he's dead, and it's like you know what I mean? He's just force sensitive. What do they call him? There's a term for him. He's not exactly a clone, but he kind of is a clone. Star Wars has a term for what Snoke is.
Mm-hmm.
A strand or something, upstrand. There's a term for who he was.
Okay.
And so I kind of want it. I want it to be the beginning of the cloning of Snoke because that character is just so lame, man.
We've talked about this before. We need this to redeem the sequel trilogy, like we needed Clone Wars to redeem the prequel trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
We need this. We need to know the holes, the drastic holes in plot that were left throughout the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
We need that.
We know Snoke was Palpatine's puppet and all that, but he was force sensitive. But he was obviously raised by Palpatine, and where did all this scarring and all his damage and all of those things?
Yeah, because
like,
you remember when it all
so
came out,
much.
we were flipping out because those scars almost exactly matched Anakin's scars.
Yeah.
So, so you know that we need that. We need it as badly as I love Clone Wars and what it did for the prequel trilogies in my heart. Even though you talk about it, the writing's terrible, they're not good movies, but the Clone Wars made them relevant.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're hoping Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all this can do for the sequel trilogies.
Yeah. And I hope moving forward, when we get these movies, we don't need filler stories anymore. Like, not in the sense that they're just useless, but we don't need another series to explain the holes in them. Like, get better at what you're doing.
Kick Kathleen Kennedy out and give the reins to Filoni and Favreau.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a series of movies, they should not have so many holes that we need an entire series to fill them in.
I agree.
Get better at that.
I agree. You know? Well, if you're gonna make a trilogy again, hire one freaking director and let him build a vision for 3 trilogies.
Just let Favreau do it.
Do not hire.
Favreau has made some of the highest grossing movies of all time. I mean, he's responsible for fucking Elf, of all things. And so, just let him do the trilogy.
Yeah, I agree.
Good gosh.
If
he
wants
doesn't
it.
want it.
If he wants it. If he doesn't want it, Filoni doesn't want it, I say give it to Opie's kid.
Yeah.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes.
100%.
She seems to get it.
Yeah, she does.
If she has the right writers, I don't know that she can write it, but she's got the directing chops.
That's Ron Howard's daughter, not just Opie's kid.
Everybody else.
Opie.
It's not Andy Griffith's granddaughter, man. Come on. Give him props. What props?
Might as well be.
Says you.
Oh, Jesus. No. So weird.
I bet she was raised around Andy Griffith and thinks of him as old Pop Pop.
I feel like she wasn't.
I bet she was.
We're going to have to look that up. I don't know. I'm curious. When she was born.
Ron Howard kept a relationship with him, so.
I feel like he hit his wife. Andy Griffith.
Andy Griffith or Ron
Yeah.
Howard?
No, not Ron Howard. Andy Griffith. You just see.
Can we not start rumors on that like that on this show? Can we just?
I
He
mean,
just looks like a guy that beats up women.
It's like the
I didn't say he beats up women. I said he hits his wife.
It's the same thing.
the
It's
1960s.
not.
Did they all beat their wives?
Sean Connery.
Christ.
Just saying.
So, any other parting thoughts about the
I
Mandalorian?
do have one more before we go. Going back to the beginning before it went to Andor, during that fight, Bo-Katan says that these are TIE fighters from a warlord, an Imperial warlord. And at the end, as they're flying away, she goes, "This is no army from a warlord."
Yeah.
I believe Bo-Katan realized in that moment that the Empire is rising again, and I think it's potentially setting up the avenue for Grand Admiral Thrawn, and he being the backbone of the resurgence of the Empire, which sets us right up for Ahsoka. So I thought that was one little line.
Yeah.
Again, blink and you miss it, but that meant something.
You see the big rumor this week as well. This isn't really a spoiler. It's one of those rumor things that Ezra Bridger will actually premiere in this season of Mandalorian.
I'd be fine with that.
It's a rumor. Who knows?
I think we also need to talk about the end of this episode, where after they cut away from Coruscant back to
This is the
Mando,
way.
yeah, this is the way. He proves that he bathed in the living waters of Mandalore and became redeemed. But so did Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan, sorry, my bad. And she said that even though she doesn't walk the way, she bathed in the waters. And the armorer told her, "Have you removed your
Yeah.
helmet since you bathed?" And she said, "No." And the armorer said, "Now you walk in the way." And everyone greeted her immediately. I mean,
She likes getting that respect. She does. Clearly, when in the last episode when they were walking in and her and Mando were talking, and she mentioned something about her father, and he kind of stopped and looked at her, and he said, "This is the way." And she kind of paused and looked at Grogu. I mean, she likes getting that freaking respect. I
And
think
she's
it's
craving a Mandalore experience, And the only thing left in the universe that's even remotely close to what she grew up in is the Watch.
they are considered a cult by her.
Yeah.
But at the same
Everyone
time,
else is falling away.
yeah, she's lost her
scenario.
people. Yeah, she's the last of the Night Owls almost.
which episode do you think she's going to challenge Mando for that Darksaber? Because that's coming. that's the last.
That's
going
going
to
to be an interesting one.
And I wonder, does it matter now? Or does she believe she can do it without the Darksaber if she can ride the
I feel like
Mythosaur.
I think we all believe it belongs in her hands. The way she took it for a second and just.
Everyone has fought with the
Oh,
Darksaber
gosh.
better than Chen then, though. I mean, remember how Sabine Wren wielded that thing like a mofo? I mean, he has some blocks in his head that keep him from being able to do it.
That's a
It
discussion.
just doesn't belong to him. I mean, it's
Yeah.
awesome that he has it, but I think it belongs somewhere else.
Yeah.
It belongs, she is the Kreese. She is the ruling party, the ruling family.
Yeah, and we had that discussion about whether, Din, the reason he couldn't wield it is he wasn't a true Mandalorian anymore, but she wielded it amazingly. And, we talked about in Rebels about it's more of a connection to something else.
You have to rid the conflict from your heart. You have to accept the blade. It's very force-sensitive kind of talk.
Yeah. It's a Mandalorian take on a lightsaber, for
Yeah.
God's sake.
How did we not go see Dungeons and Dragons movie? It came out this week, didn't it?
It came out this week?
I think it
I
did.
thought it came out the 25th.
People were talking about the premiere.
Motherfuckers, I gotta call my D&D
I
group.
was at the theater Friday night or Thursday night, and the only thing that came out was Shazam.
Maybe some kind of advanced premiere. I don't know.
Yeah. Because I was planning on us going to see it. So maybe Saturday.
And I have confirmed the gelatinous cube is in this movie.
Oh, of course it is. You know it is. Yeah. I can't wait for
D&D.
Sorry, this is a complete aside.
Nope. So, Mandalorian wrap up.
Yeah. Mandalorian was great. It always is. And Grogu, I kind of feel like he almost said this is the way this week.
He tried it.
Yeah, I know.
Freaking tried. It was
The
adorable.
words are coming.
Freaking adorable.
That's going to be his first.
Now, my
words.
question is, it was just a blah, 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 blah. When it comes out, will it be this is the way, or will it be the way it is?
That's what we're going to have to wait on. We don't know. Was Yoda dyslexic or what?
Yaddle
didn't talk like
She
that.
didn't, no. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. And I feel like that is going to be a momentous occasion.
We find out that Yoda had a learning disorder.
Yes.
That's funny. You should not.
Representation matters. Lord.
Matters
Okay.
Matters representation does.
I tried to couldn't pull it off. So let's talk Last of Us, y'all.
All right. Last week, right after our show, was the season finale of Last of Us. If you've been watching with us, you know we all really dug it. 3 of us have tried to play the game, and it was too hard. We gave up. But the show is awesome, and it came to a head. You know, I feel like it did a little bit, kind of like HBO loves to do, like Game of Thrones. You remember the penultimate episode had the big moment? Like, I felt like the big moment of this season was the whole showdown with the preacher and the burning down and the holding her and calling her baby doll and everything.
Yeah.
This episode was good, but it felt like the last episode of a season of Game of Thrones did, where you're digesting what you saw the previous episode a little bit. How'd y'all feel?
Yeah, I didn't feel that way, but
Yeah,
I mean,
go ahead and take
I
it,
get
man.
that entirely. No, I get that. But I mean, good God, what a show! What an episode!
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude was like he went Wolverine on everybody.
Yes.
It was just like line up and die. Everybody line up and die. Kill Fox all the way to Ellie.
Yeah.
Just like holy shit.
And it was so like a video game. Like, I felt like they paid the right amount of homage by him picking up guns as he went, ammo as he went, which is exactly what you had to do in the game. I don't know. This show has done the best job I've ever seen of adapting a video game.
Yes, I mean, it definitely has, and I have not given up on the game yet. I'm going to revisit it. Okay.
Once we master Hogwarts.
Yeah, I got distracted, but no, and I agree. I agree with you. The episode previous was Ellie discovering what survival was, and I think it helped her understand Joel. And this is the episode where we saw Joel cut loose into who he was to do it. Yeah, I mean, there's no way
What he's
around
had
that.
to become since he lost his daughter. I
Yeah.
mean, he's become a killing machine. That's
Yeah.
what he's done. That's how he survived. That's how he's made money. That's how he's made it
Yes,
made it through. So it all led him up to this.
Mhm.
I mean, it's unfortunate that her life may have saved humanity, but the cost as well. I get it. I mean, I would probably do the same thing.
Yeah, he's not willing to pay it.
She matters enough. If we can't find another way, then maybe we all should die.
And it was
That's how I
just,
feel.
he accepted, he overcame that moment where she was cargo and she became his surrogate daughter and she was taken away and there was nothing that was going to stop him from getting her back, including at the end lying to her. And what I liked about that is I think she
felt it.
realized
She
that,
She knows.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows he lied to her.
Y'all know at the beginning, the actress that played her mother when she gave birth to her, that's Ellie, the voice of Ellie from the video game.
Yeah.
She's also Chrissy from, was it Family Ties? She was when she was really young.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's
She's
also
a lot older than she looks. She's in her 40s, and you wouldn't know. I mean,
she's the waitress.
Yeah.
That Joss Whedon decided to focus solely on during the Avengers
Avengers
battle.
movie. That's right. That's right.
Anything else on this?
Growing Pains, I think it was actually. She was the baby in Growing Pains.
Okay.
That was have like a baby voice.
Weird trivia. Who cares about that actually?
No, I mean, I think it was a wonderful ending. We've been discussing there's going to be a time jump in next season
Yeah, the second game jumps 5 years, I think.
about that, and we were discussing tonight whether the actress that plays Ellie should be the same actress, and the creators and showrunners have already said they're going to keep her. I think it's a good idea. I like her.
It'll probably be 2 years before they actually film the next season, so she's going to age.
Yeah.
But the problem with that actress
She's
is
a very interesting looking person.
She's be hard to cast, I guess. But also she's very out about being non-binary thing. I mean, she could look completely different 2 years from now. She's going through her
discovery.
Thank you. Not insulting that. I'm just saying
who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All over the internet.
I was just thinking about, I don't know if you guys watched Lost when Walter, the young kid, like they had to literally get rid of his character on the show because he was like this cute little kid and he went through puberty and suddenly he was like 14. It was like 6 months and we're like, oh, we got to kill you off. That was the only thing that's what I was thinking about. I was like, no, she's pretty much like done with puberty. Like she'll get a little taller and whatnot. But, she's got
digress big time. So Last of Us was a lot of fun. I enjoy it. Great, very well done show.
Yeah, looking forward for season 2.
I will beat that game.
I wasn't on the show last week, but I want to. I still want to talk about that Ninja Turtle trailer that we got.
Oh,
Ninja Turtles.
yeah, you're the expert.
I'm a turtle guy, so it's like I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. It's very modern day teenagers, which is I think what we need. A lot of hate is getting a lot of hate online because people want it to look exactly the same as the old Turtles. At least the old guard want exactly the same thing, guys.
My friends that are major Turtle fans are all really excited about it. You, my friend Kevin, a few. I mean, I think the people who truly love the source material are okay with it. It's just, it's cool to be a hater these days. I hate it, but it is. It's just,
it's easy to be a hater these days.
They get a lot of attention.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is you can be anonymous online.
Haters get a lot of attention, and it sucks.
It's the same demographic that's mad because April's black. Yeah, and
that's I guarantee you that's the biggest part of it. April O'Neil's a black girl. Who freaking cares?
Nobody cares. Nobody really genuinely cares.
She was originally black in the comics.
She was like mixed. He said she was mixed.
Yeah, it was based on his girlfriend, right?
Yeah, black woman. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. The trailer looks fun. It looks so fun. It looks great. So really teenager. Does. I mean, I'm all actually got teenagers to do the voiceovers.
Yeah.
Versus grown ass men.
Right.
Like
and I love the sound of it. It sounds like kids talking.
Yeah.
I love Afro Jackie Chan Splinter.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome looking. I think it's really cool. And like I said, I love Seth Rogen. He is a fan, and when he is a fan of something, he executes it really well. Yeah. A la The Boys.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Invincible,
and
Preacher.
Yeah. When he does something he cares about, he pours his heart and soul into it, and you feel that. So I'm down.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because when I saw the trailer, they really hit hard on the teenage. I can actually see a series of movies where they grow up and learn. I would love to see that from them starting,
creative
that
freaking
journey.
We could get far enough down the road where we get the Last Ronin.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I don't know why. Nickelodeon or Viacom owns the Turtles. Mm-hmm. I mean, because Eastman sold to Laird sold to Nickelodeon. They own it, and they've allowed the Ronin comic book to come, and it's very violent. I mean, it's a rated R. If they made a movie out of it, it would be hard rated R. And the speculation is that comic has broke all records. I mean, it has sold 8 billion copies. I mean, it's exaggeration. I don't know how many extra copies made, but they're selling it at Walmart now. I mean, you could find The Last Ronin everywhere.
Yeah.
Would be a total phenomenal, at least animated movie.
Oh yeah,
or
just
a trilogy, or I mean, good gosh, man! Just what are we waiting?
All of these companies are looking for these universes that can deliver movie after movie after movie. If the Ninja Turtles isn't that universe, what the hell is?
Well, they protect that brand so fiercely, and it has to meet a demographic. And there's some executive somewhere with a rule book on Ninja Turtles that when it's in front of children's eyes, it has to meet these criteria.
Well, you know how Harry Potter grew up with us?
Yeah.
The first Harry Potters were very childish, and then you start getting darker and darker and darker. I feel like you could do that. You could grow the Turtles to a point where it's like, okay, now the audience is ready for us to go dark.
Yeah. I mean, that's
kill some turtles.
That's what I'm saying. Like, start them as teenagers and watch them grow and learn lessons and hard lessons. defeat and loss. You know, that's part
At
of
the end of the
growing
day,
up.
though, those executives just want to sell toys. And that's the goal of this movie, is to sell a new wave of toys and a new generation. So
if you're listening out there, there's a lot of adults that buy toys.
Yeah.
So, get out of your own way.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, excited about it.
Oh yeah, so
Awesome.
looking forward to it. We're going to be in theaters watching it.
Anything else? Shazam.
You want to talk about Shazam? Yeah, that's all you
I did go see Shazam this weekend. I know a lot of people didn't. To the point where the director of the movie came out and said, "Hey, I got paid. I knew no one was going to go see it."
Damn.
Look at that.
Holy shit.
It
I didn't know that.
very much that is what he said.
God.
It wasn't bad. I mean, it's not anything groundbreaking. It's not going to change comic book movies or anything. But, it's a solid 7 movie. It was fun. They grew the story, the kids, everybody being Shazam. I thought Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu were pretty good in their roles as villains. I mean, Helen Mirren's a baller actress.
Yeah.
So, when a lot of times we're like, oh, they didn't act very well. I mean, so Helen Mirren brought herself to this role. Lucy Liu's not a good actress at all. Never has been, never will be. She had some bad lines. She had some Aquaman level bad lines. So I mean, it's not a perfect movie, but it was fun. Rachel Ziegler, the chick from West Side Story, she's gorgeous. You see her, and she's beautiful.
Who does she play?
Anthea, the youngest sister of Atlas. That's the villains, were the daughters of Atlas.
Oh, okay.
So she's the youngest daughter of Atlas. They gave more time for some of the other children in the family, the Shazam children, to get some story time.
That's good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, it had some silly parts. Now, if I watched it with Ken, I know the moments he would groan. But
we know each other well.
Don't not go see it just because it's a dead universe. Go see it. It's a good movie. It's a Shazam movie. It has a big cameo at the end,
Which they ruined in a trailer.
which apparently they ruined in
What
the trailer.
the crap?
But he said, "I'm not getting rid of everything." Gunn has even said, "I may stick with Gal Gadot." So they could stick with this dude as Shazam. There's no telling what Gunn keeps and what he doesn't. Flashpoint is going to change the freaking game.
We need to get there. We got to get past Flash.
Yeah, I know. Did y'all hear the news about Flash this week? Tom Cruise called the CEO of Warner Brothers and demanded a screening. So David Zaslav drove out to Tom Cruise's house, and they did a private screening of Flash for Tom Cruise. And Tom Cruise called the director, Andy Muschietti, and told him that it will save superhero movies, that it's one of the best he's ever seen.
I don't feel like superhero movies are in that much danger.
No.
I mean, they're
we've talked
steady.
about the decline of
There's
Marvel.
a decline, but they're steady. I mean, there's.
I also feel like Tom Cruise is not like an authority on this shit.
It's the only big review we've heard of someone that's seen it, other than Gunn.
Did
And
you
Gunn
see
was like,
did you
it's
see the toy
amazing.
leaks from the villain? Have y'all seen
No.
that?
Mm-mm.
I'll shut up about
Okay.
it. They're everywhere.
Also, I don't think we should ever refer to Tom Cruise as a big review because he's like 5'2". He's a medium-sized review.
Scientology
medium
is
review.
weird in the same way Teletubbies are weird.
Dude, I love Teletubbies. Don't
That
compare
checks
those
out.
two.
That checks out. Anyways.
Guys, I think we're going to end the show at that point.
Are we after Scientology's going to be after us?
Yeah. I'm cool with that. I got nothing
Check
going
your
on.
thetans.
I got alien space ghosts in my belly.
Guys, it's a great time to be a nerd and be alive. Get out there and do something geeky. And as always, come talk to us about it at CNA.
Scientology's still weird.
Yes, it is.
They're coming for us.